In the ever-changing world of Wuthering Waves, power and preference are constantly debated with one question in mind: who reigns supreme in Wuthering Waves? From the dawn of the Resonators to the rise of the meta-defining strategies, the community has sought answers. And now, in amidst all of this controversy, a tier list emerges. The Prydwen tier list. A bold declaration, sparking debates, dividing players and questioning loyalties. Are these rankings the ultimate truth or just fuel for the chaos? Countless warriors rushed to combat this chaotic tier list. Like Gacha who chose a diplomatic approach. Saintodas, who went nuclear react on them. And Maggie, who chose to make a test evaluation of the matter. Today, myself, Gacha Godfather, will step into the fray. We'll examine this tier list, react to it, and decide if these judgments hold water or not. Buckle up because this one is gonna get heated. The controversy will either be resolved or I will fall into the battlefield trying. Hello friends, Gacha Godfather here, and let's step into this heated and controversial reaction video. It will go like this. We will define the tags they are using here: heal, coordinate, attack, cleave, and all of the other stuff, so that you are aware of them. The DPS, hybrid, and support category, and we will judge the tier list based on the rules that Prydwen has implemented. Disclaimer here, this is not my own tier list. I am fixing this tier list and providing suggestions to Prydwen based on their rules. For my own tier list and my own categorizations, a new video will follow up in the future. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's begin with the tags. I will let you read the tags. I don't care that much because the tags are not properly used. For example, Baisi has coordinated attacks and she doesn't have the tag for that. I will not waste time to fix the tags, so I will pretend they are not there until Prydwen fixes them. They don't even matter for the tier list anyway, I don't care. The only thing that matters is that the expert tag means that the resonator can be on placement higher, so if I see that tag, I will judge the resonator as one placement higher. Now for the roles, this is highly important. This is the biggest flaw of the tier list. Support characters must have the capability to provide benefit to the team regardless of the order in which they are switched in, so as not to conflict with the majority of hybrid characters' outros, only buffing the next character to enter. So based on that, the only characters that provide buffs to the team regardless of the order in which the next character is switched in are Shorekeeper, Verina. You can make a claim for the Spectre Rover here, just provides a slow, and Wanwu just eliminates more vibration bar. The others are in the hybrid category because in the hybrid category they say that hybrid characters directly support your damage dealer of choice, often with incredibly synergistic kits, specialized outro buffs like deepen multipliers or other beneficial effects, almost always build to complete the rotation right before your DPS performs their full damage combo. So characters that have an outro like that are Tianjin, Yinlin, Jessie, Danjin, Alto, Taochi. Baisi buffs the next character that comes in only. Yuhu, Loom is not out yet officially, so I will leave her here, I don't care. Mortefi, Sanhua, and Yan Yang buffs the next character with her energy regen only. So, oh, and Changli, forgot about Changli. And Changli. The other characters are damage dealers, they do damage. As you can see, Havoc Rover, Kalsaro, Ling Yang, Encore, Jinxi, Jiyan, Camellia, Xiang Liao, Cixia, and that's it. Disclaimer here again, this is not how I would do the tier list. The categories I would create will not be like that. It would be more wise to provide a category for DPS, a secondary DPS, and a supportive character. Because for example, in the secondary DPS category, you would add Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover is a burst character. Gets in, does his skill, does his liberation, and then gets out immediately. He does not fit in the DPS category. And other characters like that, more on that on a future video. Okay, let's start with the support category. We have 4 characters here, as we said earlier, by their rules. But first, the Swordkeeper and Verina should not be in the same tier. Swordkeeper provides a crit rate buff, a crit damage buff, and the outro deepen of 15% damage, along with Verina provides the same outro, but provides a 20% attack buff only, and then Swordkeeper also has some personal damage as well, with her outro. So, Swordkeeper, if you play her, you know that she's way more powerful than Verina, so Swordkeeper should be tier 0, Verina should be right below her. So let's do it right here for the supports. Then we have Spectral Rover. Judging by their own categorization, Spectral Rover should be in the support tier. I would not put Spectral Rover here, I would put him in the secondary DPS tier, they call it hybrid tier, but because they have these rules about the outros, we will put Spectral over here, provides Spectral resistance shred, some healing, has quite some damage as well. And then Guanwu, I would put Guanwu right here for the vibration bar and the coordinated attacks that it provides, that is a must for Jinxi free-to-play teams that don't have access to other characters, other important characters. The simplest way to run Guanwu in those teams is with Tauchi. Guanwu, Tauchi, Jinxi. So let's just put him right here. This is how their support category should look like with their own rules. Now for the hybrid category. They have on the tier 0 Changli and Sanhua. Expert tier, remember, 1 tier higher. Changli and Sanhua. As good as Sanhua is, if a future DPS releases that is a main DPS and Changli with a quick swap rotation buffs them, Sanhua is not as good. Same goes for Yinlin and Chechi in their respective teams. Sanhua is not that good, and with new characters coming, Sanhua, even if being close to them, is not a tier above them. So, the characters, the 5-star characters that have both elemental damage, deepen, and skill, liberation, whatever deepen together, and their personal damage, they are more valuable than the 4-stars. It is what it is. So let's put those where they deserve. Changli, Yinlin, Chechi. Sanhua of course is right here, and Mortefi is right here as well, because he's the main core of the Jiyan team, right? We have Dungeon. Dungeon has a lot of personal damage. Should be here, tier 1. I think they have here tier 1, right? They have here tier 1. Now, Yang Yang. Yang Yang is not tier 2. If you know how to play Yang Yang, she has super fast Concerto Energy regeneration and can outro super fast, almost as fast as Sanhua, and her buff at S6, 20% attack, and her energy that she gives to the next character, her battery, she's a battery essentially, puts her in tier 1, the lowest at tier 1, the lowest. Alto has not as bad of a Concerto Energy gain. His buff is lower. I will put him around here. He's the replacement of Mordefy in the Giant team. He's not that bad, you can still clear. You have characters like Taochi. Taochi, if you don't have Chechi, a free-to-play team of Jinshi needs Taochi. Taochi here, with a bit of quick swap, with a bit of optimal rotation, she can get her outro quite fast as well. And she has 38% deepen. The reason she is here and not above here is because of her slower Concerto Energy regeneration. Qianqin, I will put her between here and here, right? Because of her lower Concerto Energy regeneration, but she has some grouping abilities and she has a really strong deepen. So I will put her here, around here. Let's put her here. Then you have these two characters, Yuhu and Baizi, because they buff the next character. The problem now with Baizi, and why Baizi I will put her here. Baizi buffs the next character, so you have to play her right before the main DPS. But she buffs 15% of damage deepen. And at that spot, you're better off using one of the other characters specialized with a deepen of a 5-star quality for a total of 45% or a 38% and not a 15%. So she's not ideal because she buffs the next character only. This is her biggest flaw, so I will put her here. Now, Yuhu on the other hand is played instead of Verena and Shorekeeper in that slot, but buffs the next character in the team, so we will have to put her in this tier based on their own rules. But her buff is 100% coordinated attacks, so I will put her here. It's not a small buff. And another thing, if a coordinated attack main DPS comes out in the future, you would run Shorekeeper or Verena in the 3rd slot and Yuhu on the 2nd slot and give the coordinated attacks of the main DPS a 100% damage deepen, which is insane. She would move here or even here at that point. But for now, let's put her in this tier. So, we are done with the hybrid characters as well. Now, let's move on to the DPS category. This one is easier than the hybrid one to make, so let's get right into it. Camille and Jinshi, of course, they are at tier 0. No questions asked. I will not even analyze it. Then, Xiang Liao. I have played Xiang Liao, I have a comparison video on him. He belongs into tier 0 as well with his team. Insane damage if you have his signature weapon. Insane damage. Oh, and another flaw here of the tier list. They are judging the tier list as if these characters have the standard weapon, which is insane. Some weapons are crit weapons, others are not. Some weapons have passives that help the characters, others have not. So the best thing to do here is consider that all of these characters have their signature weapon. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. I don't know who thought of of you putting the standard weapon on the characters. Massive flaw of the tier list. Massive flaw. So, Xiang Li Yao belongs in tier 0 with Camellia and Jinxie, and his slow is insane. You just smash the attacks, you slow the boss. Even people who cannot dodge, who do not have that massive knowledge of the mechanics of the game, can just spam attacks, slow down the boss and melt it. So, belongs there. Now, Jiyan, of course, tier 0, 0.5, no questions asked. Encore, if you play her properly, they have her at tier 0.5. I have played Encore myself even a tiny bit without knowing her rotation that well, because I have not built Encore in my account, I have played in other accounts. Encore deals massive damage, especially if you know how to play her, tier 0.5, no questions asked. Then we move on to Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover at S3 as a burst DPS has super low fill time, insane damage, fits into almost any team. I even used him in Overdrive Zone when I was using Jinxie team because I don't have many characters in my account to deal with the Spectro Prisms and work perfectly, even in a team that you would think would not work, but it worked perfectly because of my rotation. So tier 1 Spectro Rover, Havoc Rover, excuse me. Calzaro, if played properly, they have him tier 1.5. I have not played Calzaro much, I have him in my account at level 1. I will let him be there. If I build him, he may go here. I will tell you in a future update of the tier list. I will leave him there for now. Cisia, I will leave her here. I have not used her that much as well. I will use her in the next week. I will make a video about her. May move her here, maybe not. I will leave her here for now. Now Lingyang, I have not played this guy. I don't have this guy. I don't want to pull this guy. I don't want to see this guy ever. They have him at tier. They have him at tier 2. I will leave him there. Alto, I already moved him to the hybrid tier. You saw earlier. Why the fuck is Alto here? They're saying there is no other role for Alto. I explained that he's the replacement in the Jiyan team of Mortefi. Not that good, but still a replacement. I don't know why the fuck he's here. Alto doesn't belong here. I don't have him here. I don't care. The characters that I'm sure belong there and that I have played them are the top ones. The top ones. For these 3, Calzaro, Cisia and Lingyang, Calzaro around the slot, Cisia around the slot. Okay, again, this is the tier list fix of Prydwen. Disclaimer, one more time, this is not my own tier list. I'm fixing this tier list by their own rules. I will not categorize the DPS hybrid support like this, and the way they explain it as well, I will not categorize like this. I'll put DPS, secondary DPS support category with different description. This is one thing they need to fix. They need to fix the tags. Some tags are missing, some are wrong. They need to also judge the DPS characters by their signature weapon, not the standard weapon. This is a massive flaw and it's not a fair comparison. Then the placement by their own rules, I talked about it in the video. And they also have many more things that they need to fix on their side, descriptions missing and other stuff. You can watch all the stuff missing on the nuclear reaction that Santonas did, and maybe he will make a YouTube video about it as well. So, for now, this is the tier list fix by me. One of the future videos will be about my own tier list with my own categorization and disclaimers as well. So, if you want to watch that and if you want to be notified immediately when I post that video, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let's hit those 1000 subscribers together and See you in the next video. Gacha Godfather out. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Goodbye.